The Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. Yeah, we Ric Flairin' on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairin', gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Fetty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas. We Ric Flairin' on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' son up, baby.
Yo, DJ!
Are you done mixing yet?
You're deep.
EQ la old school la Sam. Chick. Look. Black Sun. Too easy. Gotta keep it pimpin'. Look. Chick. Drop a deuce in my armor, Palmer. Now I'm moving slow like your mama's mama. Vega full of that marijuana. I'm in full effect, it's no cause for drama. Presidential, my weed, man. You think my kush man was Barack Obama? Swing around, niggas flag me down. I need a couple grands when they see my Honda. Been there and then done that. Kick a flow, you can't run back. Crown royal, my cognac. Fucked up and I'm on it. Disapprove of my tennis shoes. Now I pick and choose like it's win or lose. Want them J's, I'ma go online. I don't wait in line, I ain't the type of dude. Dressed fresh like Steve Harvey, rolling Bob Marley, watching Family Feud. Reading a book on Marcus Garvey, might tell you something that you never knew. Fuck the judge in McLennan County, 31 weeks, I had the county blues. Shout out to my Uncle Bubba, had the Boss Caprice and it was candy blue. The other week I saw a blue Ferrari, was a white boy, he drove right by me. Told myself when my album drop, I swear the whole world gon' know about me. 25 from the east side and got my mindset on the red Audi. Dropping paper like Waco trips, where my Waco niggas gon' read about it. Been there and then done that. Kick a flow, you can't run back. Crown royal, my cognac. Fucked up and I'm on it. Oh yeah. Disapprove of my pimpin' moves, not pick and choose like it's win or lose. Bad bitch, she on me. Fucked up and I'm on it. Say I been there, I done that. Kick a flow, you can't run back. Crown royal, my cognac. Fucked up and I'm on it. Oh yeah. Disapprove of my pimpin' moves, not pick and choose like it's win or lose. Bad bitch, she on me. Fucked up and I'm on it. I done been there and I done this. I done been there and I done this. I done been there and I done this shit. I done been there and I done this. On 35 and this 420, fresh out of jail, about to roll a L. First blunt of the fucking day and it's 10 o'clock and I'm mad as hell. Got work at midnight, so I ignite and I take sail. Can't survive off what I scribe in my government job, it pays well. On the highway in an old mood, jamming old school. I'm just an old dude in a young body. Finna knock down this little young hottie, cooking soul food. I'm so smooth. Silk draws couldn't fuck with me. She blowin' my pop, but I'm sucker free. You paying for the drop, but I fuck for free. Lucky me. Been there and then done that. Kick a flow, you can't run back. Crown royal, my cognac. Fucked up and I'm on it. Oh yeah. Disapprove of my pimpin' moves, now I pick and choose like it's win or lose. Bad bitch, she on me. Fucked up and I'm on it. Say I been there and then done that. Kick a flow, you can't run back. Crown royal, my cognac. Fucked up and I'm on it. Oh yeah. Disapprove of my pimpin' moves, now I pick and choose like it's win or lose. Bad bitch, she on me. Fucked up and I'm on it. I done been there and I done this. I done been there and I done this. I done been there and I done this. I done been there and I done this shit.
You're gonna dig this.
We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered a leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Woo! What is going on? Y'all? It's your boy Scotty. Listen, I'm back in the building once again. You already know what you're watching. This off script live. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't noticed, you see the boy got the upgrade. You see the boy got the upgrade, got the mic, got the headset. Listen, I'm official like a referee with a whistle. You know what I'm saying? But real quick, all right, got some announcements. Immediately after this banger of an interview, we going live to talk about Dalen Baldwin going to Michigan. Now, it's on everybody's mind. It's on everybody's. We going live to talk about it, all right? So call-in show. You already know how we get down. You get your thing, you do your thing, all right? Now, listen, you saw the thumbnail. You already know what it is, okay? Coach Barlow spent 8 years in the NFL, 5 years with Jacksonville, 1 year with Oakland Raiders, and 2 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right. In 2017, Coach Barlow led the Trojans to an undefeated regular season 10-0 record, the first in school history, 7-0 CIAA, 5-0 in the Northern Division to claim the Northern Division title. All right. The Trojans went on to claim the 27 CIAA championship title under his leadership. Coach Barlow is staying true to his leave no doubt motto. His great season not only earned the numerous accolades for 2017, but he's also named 27 CIAA Coach of the Year. Please give it up for the one and only Coach Reggie Barlow of Virginia State University. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
What's going on with you, brother? All is well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just go ahead and turn your phone sideways for me. See how that works.
About it.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. All right, so real quick, Coach, I used to do a little start bench cut, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go right into my rapid questions. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
All right, too easy. Your favorite movie?
Ransom.
Who's in that? It's not no old movie.
It's an old movie, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah, 1970.
You don't grow up with cable TV. Yeah, when you don't grow up with cable TV, you're not really into movies. So I haven't seen a whole bunch of movies.
Okay. Your last vacation?
Man, life is a vacation for me, but I think probably the last place, right around COVID, I went down to Pensacola Beach, Florida, to hang out for a little bit.
Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Obviously, for Thanksgiving, you get a chance to hang around your fam and get a chance to do that stuff. So, yeah, that's the favorite for mine.
Your dream car?
You might not believe this, but I actually just got it, but Nissan Altima. I've been blessed to be able to ride in a bunch of cars in my life, playing ball, Mercedes, BMWs, drop tops, and all that stuff. But I got a little black Nissan Altima. I always wanted one, and now we have it.
That's what's up. It's the simple things in life. Now, any pregame rituals or routines you have to do before a game, and have they changed now that you're a coach?
It's pretty much like other people. I love music, so obviously we're gonna always be banging Doe B, my homeboy from Montgomery. We're gonna be playing some Kodak Black. We're gonna be playing Young Jeezy, of course. So a variety of guys that make really good music.
That's what's up. Now, growing up playing football in Montgomery, Alabama, in the mid to late 80s, how was that? You know, that time period, you know, how was that growing up in that?
So there's a lot of really good athletes in Montgomery, Alabama. So we, Sidney Lanier High School, Robert E. Lee High School, Jeff Davis High School. So it was a competitive environment. There was a lot of good players. Unfortunately, my high school, Sidney Lanier at the time, we weren't very good, and I get teased about this all the time. Like we never won a city game against an in-city rival. So, but it was competitive. Unfortunately, we was on the opposite end of winning.
Oh man, that's tough. Now, who or what inspired you to get into coaching?
This guy named Leon Moore. He was actually the guy that got me going. He was he was my 9th grade or 8th grade PE teacher, and the guy just had a charisma about him. He was a really good coach. He communicated well. Just everything about him was just pleasurable to watch this guy. And I was like, hey, I definitely, want to take that route, and ended up doing it, and it worked out for us.
Okay. Now, if you were not coaching football, what else would you be doing?
So I majored in physical education. So I probably would be a physical ed teacher. And my real passion, honestly, outside of football is baseball. So I'm almost positive I would be doing something that involves baseball.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, how has it been getting your team prepared during that COVID and, practicing and all that? How's that been going on with COVID?
Yeah, so we've had a very interesting situation. Obviously, with COVID, we didn't have a fall season. We didn't practice anything. We weren't on campus. So in the spring, we came back and tried to have a few spring practices. We were blessed to have 9 of them, but we got shut down a few times. So it was a challenge, but we've been talking about being better and not bitter over COVID, and whatever we get, we appreciate it. So we appreciate the 9 practices that we were able to get. We appreciate the young men that were there to try and continue to learn and get better. So we're just happy that we were able to get those practices in, and we'll keep moving forward.
That's what's up. Now, Coach, this is one of my favorite sections. It's called Who Is, right? And in this section, it's over who you've played with as well as coach when I ask you these questions, okay? So, who is the best athlete you've seen or coached?
A guy named Ricky Jones that played football at Alabama State. He was our quarterback. I hate to, Michael Vick is an amazing guy. I think he was Michael Vick before Michael Vick. He probably could go 3 for 3 on the baseball field. He can be your 2 guard on the basketball team. He could run track, be your second leg. He was just an amazing athlete. He played quarterback. He got drafted by the Rams in 1991, which is, still they wasn't drafting quarterbacks at the time. So just a really good quarterback and outstanding athlete.
That's what's up. Now, who is the biggest trash talker either on your team, who you play with, or who you coached?
Wow, that's pretty good. Over the years, we've had some good ones that talk trash. We got a little receiver now named Roy Jackson. It's from Atlanta, by way of New Orleans. He's going to run his mouth. He can bag it up now, but he runs his mouth a good bit. I was so laid back and so I never talked. So even if a guy was talking trash, he wasn't going to get much back from me because it took too much energy for me to do what I was doing. But, Fred Smoot, we played against him. Fred Smoot talked a little bit. So there are some guys, man, that we played with, probably too many to name, that obviously talked a lot of trash.
Okay. Yeah, Fred Smoot, I definitely know from the Washington team. Definitely know. Who had the biggest arm you either seen or have coached?
And when you talk about biggest arm, you talking passer, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about like quarterback. Biggest quarterback.
Yeah. When we played against this guy, when I was with the Jaguars, Jonathan Quinn, he got drafted by the Jaguars in the 4th round. He had a big arm. He could really spin it. He can throw it hard, but didn't always know where it was going. But he probably killed me for saying that. But he probably had like the strongest arm and could really spin it. Tavares Jackson had a really strong arm too. A guy that we coached at Alabama State and was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings and has left us. Speaking of him, we just had his camp this past weekend, but he could spin it too. He had a big arm and control.
That's what's up. Now, what was your fondest memory of being in the NFL?
Well, I guess initially just being drafted in the 4th round and sitting on the couch waiting for my name to get called. And then probably next would be running a kickback against the Patriots, the first game that my mom attended. One of the first games. It wasn't first, but she happened to be there at that game. So it meant a lot to have her there to be able to run a punt back. I mean, not a punt, but a kickoff. So I would say that was probably my best moment.
That's
most
memorable
memorable moment.
Let's get into this college career. All right, so let's go back, set the scene. You're from Montgomery. You play at Alabama State. How was that?
Man, I tell people I've been from Maine to Spain, from Mexico to Jericho, from Tennessee. There have not been a better place, a better experience. than the experience I had at Alabama State. My best friends in life are from Alabama State. The place gave me an opportunity to get an education. That was the only scholarship offer I had.
Mm.
All my close friends are from there. That experience was just uh, amazing. And Alabama State is a wonderful place. We have some outstanding facilities and stuff there. They really built the campus up. But being there for those 4 years was just, I mean, it was better than anything. I enjoyed it.
That's what's up. Now, how was Coach Houston as a coach back then?
Man, just show you can curse on him.
Yeah, you good. You good. You good.
Man, I'm telling you, man, Coach Markham was tough, man. He was extremely tough. Like, people don't realize, like, we actually did 4 days when I was playing at Alabama State. And for 4 years, people will not believe this, but for the 4 years that I was at Alabama State, we did 2 days throughout the entire season. We would go to practice at 3 o'clock, practice from 3 to 5. Don't take your pants off, put your tennis shoes on, take your shoulder pads off, go to the calf, eat, be back on the field for 7 o'clock, 7:30, and then we go from that to about 9:30 or so. And he would always end it. Now get your lesson. We've been out there practicing for 6 hours, and he would say, "Hey, now get your lesson." But the life lessons that man taught us, that he instilled in us, the work ethic, it allowed us to leave there knowing that you'll never face anything that you can't overcome because of the mindset that he created in us. And they would lock us up today. If I tried to do that with our team, they
Quickly.
would send me to jail. It would be over with. Yeah, it would be over with. Yeah, but he was an amazing guy, and we learned a lot from him, man.
That's great. That's great. So, I mean, sometimes you need that old school love. Now, after finishing your stellar career with 133 catches, 2,500 yards, did you think you would get drafted?
I was blessed. I had a really good agent at the time, Richard DeLuca, who's a friend now, and they were saying I could get drafted between the 3rd and 5th round. If you look back at the 1996 draft, it's arguably the #1 draft for wide receivers in NFL history. I mean, you can Google that, and that's going to come up. I mean, it was Keyshawn Johnson, Eric Mose, Terrell Owens, Eddie Kennison, the list goes on, Marvin Harrison. But so it was a thick group, and obviously playing at HBCU, sometimes you get overlooked. So we didn't know if we would go the 3rd or 4th or 5th, but we were blessed to get drafted in the 4th round, which is pretty cool considering all the wonderful guys, Bobby Ingram, Amani Toomer, all the great receivers that was in that class. So we were happy to get drafted in the 4th round by the Jaguars.
Man, that's saying something. That is truly saying something. Now, how was that draft party? Because nowadays it's all about the draft party. So I know you talked about it briefly earlier about sitting on the couch watching, but anything spectacular, any craziness?
Man, nothing really crazy because it wasn't a draft party. Not knowing when you're gonna get drafted, you don't want to have all these people there. But I sat around with a friend or two this Saturday, because back then it was Saturday, Sunday. We sat around on Saturday, just watched the draft and have an appreciation for being a part of it. Obviously, we didn't get drafted that day, so it was a bummer. But Sunday, went home, rested, got up early, and the only story I have is it was my mom, my brother, one of my brothers, because there's like 5 of us, and then it was me. And my mom was getting ready for church, and she told me, she said, "Well, I sure hope they draft you soon because I'm not missing church." So, and lo and behold, like after she said that, like the Jaguars, Doug Williams, the great Doug Williams, called me. He was a scout for them at the time. So I thought it was special to have him call and say, "Hey, Jaguars about to draft you." So as she was getting ready to head out, man, she wasn't missing church now. She wasn't going to miss church. So she had a chance to see my name go across that thing. And, of course, hugged, celebrate a little bit, and was able to celebrate a little bit more when she got back from the Lord's house.
That's special. Now, what was it like being a rookie back then? Any stories? Anything crazy? Was there still, was there rookie hazing or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we had to sing or perform or do all that type stuff, which nothing real hectic. I used to have to bring all the receivers breakfast every Friday throughout the whole year. We alternate who would go buy the Popeye chicken for the plane for the for the guys. Andre Rosin, the receivers when I was there was Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell, Willie Jackson, Andre Rosin, a few other guys, Will Moore. So, Dre was a star. I mean, Dre was catching 100 balls a year. So, the only stories I really have is, I mean, he would tell me, hey, man, you can't come dressed like you dress. You got to get you some suits. And you got to, get you some ties. And you got to get out that toy. I had a Toyota 4Runner. He was like, man, you couldn't even park that SHIT in the parking lot at my house. So he would ride me, but he that's my guy. He's my guy, bro. Like, I learned a lot from Dre. Obviously, Keenan and Jimmy, those are my big brothers. Willie Jack. I'm still in contact with all those guys, man. So it was cool getting the opportunity to learn from those guys.
That's what's up. And you kind of went to my next question. I said you were around some of the best to do it. Mark Brunell, Tom Coughlin, Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor. Talk about that, like, when Fred first came in as a rookie. And listen, people sleep on that Jaguars team. Y'all was like 11-5. Like, y'all was doing it. Or at least, y'all was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, Coach Coughlin, man, he did an amazing job of building that team. He had the right coaches there. He built the right culture. They drafted some amazing players. They signed some guys in free agency: Keenan McCardell, Mark Brunell, Willie Jack, and then drafting Fred. The team was loaded. One year we went, I think, 14-2 or something like that. Yeah. We lost to the Titans like 3 times, which is crazy. But Fred Taylor was an amazing athlete, man. Just explosive, can catch it, knew how to protect, ran for power, can run inside, run outside. Hopefully he get a chance to get in the Hall of Fame. Jimmy Smith, man, this guy was unstoppable. And at the time, if you were a video game guy and you played with the Jaguars team, you was gonna win. Like, that team had what is called Madden, on the Madden game.
Yeah.
Everybody will tell me how they played with the Jaguars. So team was loaded, had some amazing coaches. And those guys that you mentioned, man, our defense was pretty good too. We had Aaron Beasley and Tony Brackens and just a host of guys, man, that were amazing athletes. So that was fun playing there in Jacksonville.
That's what's up. Now let's get into this coaching. Right? So your first coaching job is back at your alma mater as a QB coach. You played wide receiver. How did you become a QB coach?
So Charlie Cole, who was the coach at the time, really grateful for him for giving me my opportunity to coach there. Their quarterback coach at the time wanted to kind of transition off the field and be football ops. And at the time, I was debating going and be a GA at Troy under a great coach, Larry Blakeney. And it kind of the timing just matched up, and they gave me an opportunity to come. And he was like, "Oh, we got a position. You're going to be coaching quarterbacks." And, the gift and the curse is, hey, I never coached quarterbacks, but hell, I'm about to coach Tavares Jackson. So it was more about managing him, controlling his emotions, really just presenting the game to him in a different way. It wasn't about changing his throwing style and all that stuff, because his skill set was unbelievable. So, I learned a lot from him. I think, he and I grew to be really good friends. Our paths are the same. We're from Ridgecrest and Montgomery. We went to the same middle school, same high school. And also, he ended up transferring from Bama State. So I coached him, and then eventually it transitioned to, him and I being like really good buddies, being friends, being mentors and all that stuff. But so that's how I got the quarterback job over there at State.
Man, you are hitting my questions left and right. I said you end up coaching second round pick Tavares Jackson. What made him special?
He was a competitor, and he was, he was really one of those guys that took pride in being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, meaning he would work so hard and compete in the summertime and do it through the heat. and put himself and strain the body and mind so it would be easier on Saturday. So that was the first thing. He was just the ultimate competitor. He demanded the people around him work. If you didn't work, he didn't want you to be a part of the team, and he would say it to your face, and a fight came with it. So he was that guy, and of course he had the skill set. God blessed him with an amazing arm, and as he continued to get coached by great guys like Richard Moncrief, who was his mentor and quarterback coach, helping him with releases and all the other stuff that comes with quarterback play. He developed himself, and all the teams came down, and it was a blessing. And Tavares, outside of Steve McNair, coming from an HBCU, is probably he's the last guy to get drafted that high from an HBCU into the league. So, but he had it all, man. He could do it. He was competitive, strong arm, and loved to compete.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, so your next season, you become the interim head coach. I mean, you become the interim, then you become the head coach. Do you feel you were ready for the job? Do you feel like you were ready for the position?
Yeah. I mean, I was about as ready as anybody else that had knowledge and that didn't have experience. Here's what I think. I really appreciate our administration for giving one of their own, meaning me coming from ASU, just believing that I may not be all the way ready, but I had shown enough football knowledge that the transition, eventually it would be a good transition, and eventually we would be competitive and stuff. So I commend them for that. It was a learning experience. I mean, learning how to manage the game, how you want to do your practice, what culture you want to create for your team, developing our language and how we communicate. And that was a challenge. You got moving parts there. You got coaches who coached for a lot of years, so it was a real learning experience. But I can say we ended up being the second all-time winningest coach at Alabama State, and that was because we had some really good coaches, man. Seth Thornton, who coached over there for us, who's killing it in the SWAC right now. Marco McNeil, Fred Keiss. I mean, we just had some amazing coaches, and then them guys will go get players for us, man. We had some really good players. I think we were counting the other day over at ASU. We probably had between 13 to 18 guys that either got drafted, signed as a free agent, or was invited to camp. So we were able to turn it around. We were competitive every year, won a lot of games, and we were just blessed to get that opportunity. And kudos to Alabama State for believing in me and giving me that opportunity.
That's what's up. That is awesome. Now, and so 2010 to 2014, you have great years at ASU, but your teams always seem to come up short to Jackson State. What do you feel the team was missing during those times?
Actually, I think there's a lot that I could have done better as a head coach and as a manager and facilitator, communicating, exactly what, the adjustments and all that stuff. So, that stuff falls on me. As I mentioned, we had some amazing coaches, man. Fred Keiss was dialing it up as an offensive coordinator. Seth Thornton was dialing it up as a defensive coordinator. And I think for me, being a head coach, when those guys are dialing it up and putting you in really good situations, the head coach has to find a way to get us over the hump. And, so that falls on me. And I think I've become such a better coach since those situations, those opportunities. I've learned a lot. I've learned when to interject and when to help our coaches and our student athletes. So, that was me. But we won a lot of games during that point. It was just 1 year was Alcorn. I think 1 year was Jackson State. But we were always either be tied for the East or something like that. We played for the championship one of those years and lost to a really good Texas Southern team coached by the great Johnny Cole guy. So, but yeah, I mean, we learned a lot during that time.
Okay, now, so let's fast forward. 2016, Virginia State comes calling. Why do you go?
Man, that was a weird time in my life. I had just gotten a head job at Carver High, which is in Columbus, Georgia, which is an amazing school. They have really good athletes there. And then within 3 months or so, my high school came calling, Lanier High School in Montgomery. You know, it's always cool to go home. It don't always end good when you go home, but I was like, well, yeah, we're going to go home. And then some alum at Virginia State reached out to me on Facebook and was like, hey, our head coach position is available. You mind if I submit your name to our director and to our booster club? And I was like, I had to Google it because I had never heard of them. So I Googled, I looked at it. I looked at four things that did it for me. One, I wanted to see the stability of the university, meaning the president, Dr. Abdullah. What an amazing president. This guy he has it. You know what I'm saying? It's in his fiber. He's outstanding. Then I looked at Miss Peggy Davis, who was the director of athletics, wanted to see the stability there. She had been there for many years, had won, every sport, had been competitive and had an opportunity to win. And then we looked at facilities, and then we just looked at the history of the program. How have they done? And they had some recent success. So it was new wine, new skin. You know, it was like, hey, let's do it. And we went there, and they had a roster that was, put together pretty good. It's just a matter of going in and, getting we try to use our own language and how we compete and how we communicate with each other. So it's about going in there and getting that straight, and then the guys bought into it, and of course we were able to do some good stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you read my notes over here, Coach, for real, because you're going into my next question. I said, when taking when taking on a new team, how do you end up putting your personality in that team?
Honestly, it's a fight, and I don't mean a physical fight. It's a mental fight. It's every day you have to stand your ground. You have to communicate what you stand for and how you want to be. And the hard part for me is when I went to Virginia State, I was only able to bring one coach, and they had already gone to spring ball. So we only were gonna be able to put our stamp on a program and how we communicate and who we are. We had to do that in the fall. And the coaches there, Coach Stadler, Coach Carney, those guys that have been there, they bought into it. We coach them to let them know what we want, what we're looking for, and then of course getting the players to understand the standard. And this is how we're going to do it, and not wavering. If we're saying we want to be the best, then we're going to look the best. We're going to carry ourselves the right way in the classroom and the community. We're not going to wear earrings when we're traveling and playing in the game. Just stuff that seems extremely small to the players. It's a direct correlation between that and discipline on the field. So those guys bought into it. I mean, like I said, it was a fight, but eventually, you got to break their will and then build them back up the way you need them to build. And they bought into it. And we were blessed. I think we went 9-2 our first year there. So, like I said, we had some players and did some good things. Yep.
And build them up. You win a conference championship your second year. How was that experience?
And that was a really good experience. We had an outstanding season. Our coaches, man, they did a hell of a job. Like I mentioned, Coach Arnie, Coach Stadler, was the offense coordinator, Coach DeJuan Sanders. And every guys was dialed up, and then those players were just, their will couldn't be broken. They were a tight group. They worked hard. They understood embracing the grind, because it was going to be a grind. And we kind of live by this acronym, the DASH, DASHH. And we feel like if you live that, you're going to have a chance. All the good teams that I've been around, both NFL, college teams, I played for national championship team in 91. And all these teams have these characteristics. They're disciplined, doing what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it. They are the A for attitude. The attitudes are positive and conquering. There will be some adversity, but you must find a way to overcome it. You will find yourself down by a touchdown or two, maybe 3. I don't know. But what are you going to do? Tuck your tail, or are you going to continue to compete? You got to be willing to sacrifice for the sake of the team is the S. Sacrifice for the sake of the team. Each of us need all of us. And then the first habit, the first H is our habits must be aligned with expectation. We all say what we want to be, but what do your habits say? And then lastly, what's your heart like? Do you care about your team? Do you care about your community? Are you a committed teammate? And once they bought into that and lived the dash and lived it on a daily basis, things changed. And we were able to go 11-0. We had some really good football players there that competed their butts off, and just so thankful for those guys and those coaches are really giving us an experience to live something like that, to be able to be in a conference championship game again and to win it. And that's a proud team. They broke history there. So we love those guys, and we keep up in contact with many of them to this day.
I bet. I mean, that's a memory you'll never forget. Truly. Now, I know you probably don't know too much about me, but I'm from the DMV. All right, DC, Maryland, Virginia. And them Northern boys have been running the Northern Division, you know. So tell me, how are you guys going to conquer that mountain or fight towards being the top of the Northern Division against Bowie, and led by head coach Damon Wilson?
Yeah, Coach Wilson, man, we have a lot of respect for him and his program. He does it the right way. His teams are always competitive. They compete at a high level. And we found ourselves in dogfights with them every year. We had some success, I guess, the year we won a championship, and they've kind of beat us. I know last year, man, we just found ourselves in not good situations a few times in that game. But when you're talking about Bowie, and you're talking about the outstanding athletes that are in Maryland, there's some really, really good athletes there.
Yes, sir.
Coupled with, and you couple that with a coach that has some really good assistant coaches and do it the right way. It's a challenge, but we're up for it. We're looking forward to competing against them this year. I think we go play them at their place this year, I think. So it's always fun to go there. It's always homecoming for some reason. So, yeah, it's always homecoming when we go play them. So, man, we're going to go up there with the right mindset and try to overcome that. It's I love this conference, the CIAA, man. It's competitive. You got, Bowie's outstanding. You got Union. You got Elizabeth City. You got coming on. You got Shawan. And we're in the South Winston-Salem. So it's a really, really cool conference. And we're going to try to do our best to, hopefully, have an opportunity to win against Bowie this year.
Now, you've been in both places. You've played, you've coached in the CIAA, you've played in the SWAC, you've coached in it. How are they different, and what makes them similar in some aspects?
Well, I mean, the SWAC, the SWAC gonna spin it now. I mean, they don't put in there. I mean, you can get you 8 to 10 deep balls throughout the game, and those guys gonna spin it. There's some really good coaches in the SWAC conference. Guys do a great job of game planning and putting guys in good situations. The SWAC is a really good conference, man. I was so blessed to play in that conference, and then of course to be able to coach in it. So I think more so than anything, and the game now with spread offense and everybody kind of really doing the same thing. But I would say the CI is probably a bit more balanced in terms of run pass. But there are some coaches in the CI that's spinning it as well. So, but both really good conferences along with the SIAC, man. I just love HBCU football, man. It's a blessing to be a part of it. It's a blessing to be able to have coached in both of these conferences. And I will say in the CIAA, even though we're Division II, there are many guys on our level that really could play FCS ball. Guys that compete at a high level. We had Trent Cannon a few years ago, got drafted from Virginia State. We had 2 other guys that signed free agent with the Redskins, Zach Parker and Logan Oates. So all 3 conferences have really good athletes, and the Division II guys, man, they're some competitors, and compete at a high level.
Most definitely. Like they say, if they ball, they're gonna come get you if you can ball. Now, I have a question from from some of the comments. They said, is VSU coming up to the MEAC to will VSU ever be coming up to the MEAC?
In the words of my really good friend said, Thornton, defensive coordinator at Alcorn, that's above my pay grade. He always says that, but there's been some conversation about that. Our president spoke on it not long ago. As much as I love the CIAA and I believe in the conference, a lot of student athletes, especially when you recruit, we just lost a kid to FCS school that's in MEAC. I didn't mention them about being a really good conference, but which they are. We just lost a kid, and what it came down to is we want to play D1. You know what I'm saying? We got everything that those schools have, but we're not D1. So from that standpoint, it's a little bit more attractive for student athletes that's coming out of high school. I mean, you got high school kids, man. They'll go to Mars or Jupiter. As long as it's D1, it's a D1 coach. They're gonna
stamp on it.
So yeah. I mean, hey, when you think about what we are and where our school is, it kind of makes sense and fit. But I tell you this: whether we stay D1 or D2, move to the MEAC and early conference, I do think from a facility standpoint, from a infrastructure standpoint, meaning stability of president, athletic director, facilities. And all that stuff, I think whatever we decide to do, our folks are going to allow us to be extremely successful because we got some great leaders over there at our university.
Now, this might be just a little off. It's on topic, but it's a little off topic. Now, do you prefer the playoff system or bowl games, in your opinion?
Yeah, for our level, I think. I think you can set it up where you can have the best of both worlds. So it's playoff, but you name it. Okay, the first round, it's the playoff, but these games are going to be played at this particular place. So they come across as a bowl game feeling in a different venue than home or at one of the teams' deals. So I think if you want to have the best of both worlds, you could for the FCS level and the Division II level, you just say, okay, these are going to be the places that we play the playoff games, but they also comes with a bowl vibe, and you give them, the items that you get at these bowl games, the T-shirts, the
the gift bags,
Drake
little goodie
Beats,
bags, hats, and all that type of stuff.
All of that, bro. So I think from that, I would like to see it like that, but. I love our tradition we have HBCUs, and it means a lot to a lot of people that's a part of the HBCU alums. So you got to make them happy, as well as give these student athletes an opportunity to be seen. So if there's an opportunity for them to go on the next level, we definitely want to be able to allow them to achieve that.
That's big. That's big. Now, has Deion Sanders' presence in the SWAC affected HBCUs overall, in your opinion, or has he just really, has it just been a SWAC infusion?
I mean, obviously, definitely the SWAC. I mean, Deion Sanders is, he's Deion, man. He's prime. I think arguably the guy probably is the best athlete in the history of life. I mean, the guy can go and play a whole football game and then go and, go 3 for 3 and steal a few bases. So he's an amazing athlete. He has an amazing personality. He's a smart guy. He's intelligent. He loves God. And, one of the things I admire about him is he don't curse and he don't do, a lot of other stuff. But, I mean, his presence obviously has brought a lot to the SWAC, to definitely to Jackson State. I commend their AD for having the vision and the whereabouts to go out and grab a guy like Deion. So we welcome him to HBCU football. HBCU football has been outstanding, obviously prior to him coming, but a guy of his magnitude and the things that he's trying to get done at Jackson State. And sometimes we all don't have a voice. And right now, Deion, he has the mic, he has the voice, and he has a lot that comes with him. So HBCUs all around the world, I think, is actually benefiting from it. I hear parents talking about, hey, yeah, we want our kids to go to HBCU. We see what Jackson State has done. So yeah, I think it's good for HBCU football all around, and hopefully we can keep them in the SWAC and or wherever in HBCU ball, and hopefully he'll continue to be Dion, man. I love watching. I want to fish against him, though, to be quite honest with you, because I see, he got that bass pond out there.
Oh man, that thing nice.
Yeah, so he feeding them and got to know where the feeder is, and then go out there and catching them. But we got to go to a neutral spot and we're going to see what he can do.
See how good he is. See if he really about that bass life. That's funny. Now, I think one of the biggest things that people would have liked to see was, you and Coach Maynard at Winston-Salem. Like, if he would have stayed at Winston-Salem, I think that would have been a very, dynamic with you at, Virginia State and Coach Maynard, at Winston-Salem. I think that would have been a great matchup to see.
Yeah, Coach Maynard, he did an amazing job when he was at Winston-Salem. They won a couple of championships. He has a big personality as well. I enjoyed watching his team. Alabama A&M in the spring, I thought they did an amazing job. All three phases, well-coached team. Team kind of takes on his personality. The guys compete hard. We were blessed to play against Coach Maynard when I was a freshman in the first HBCU national championship game, Alabama State versus North Carolina A&T in Miami. It was a true bowl. They gave us gifts. They put us in a hotel for a whole week. We played in Joe Robbie Stadium, I think was the name of it, in Miami. Just a real good experience. And man, when I tell you, I ain't gonna tell you the score again, but this guy named Ricky Jones that played quarterback for Alabama State, and his teammates, the rest of these dudes, I don't remember the score, but it was. So Ricky Jones scored a touchdown throwing the ball. He scored a touchdown running the ball. He scored a touchdown on a reverse scramble. I mean, dude scored like 4 times. I don't want to lie about the score, but it's probably like 30-something to 10 or something like that. So, and Coach Maynard was the starting quarterback for A&T at the time. Yeah. So if we don't have any other battles, I can always say, yeah, we were, we had a chance to compete in that game and had our guys would pull that thing out. I was a young pup then, though.
Oh man, I feel like holding some over Coach Maynard just eats him up. I have a feeling that's what it does to him.
I love that guy though, man. He's so good for college football. He's a good coach, amazing coach, man. Communicates outstanding. He has a wonderful personality, bro. It's just beautiful, man, the way he's doing things. So
that's facts. Now, little off subject, analytics, and I talked to Gunnard, a good friend of yours, and he says analytics is taking over the NFL. Do you see it coming to college?
I mean, if you have the setup for it, I mean, NFL got enough money to do whatever they want to do, man. And I mean, and some of that stuff makes sense, and then some of that stuff can be a bit confusing when you're trying to think yourself through it. I just like good old experience, good old, this is how I've seen it and done it and repped it, and this is how it's worked for me. But I think for obviously the FBS schools and the schools that are prepared and have that type of money and those funds, they're able to do that. We get it done with what we need, but trying to find a guy to say, hey, we're just gonna be an analytic guy. Our guys are already having liaisons to different facets of our program. So probably good to have something like that just to experience and see what it is. But I don't want to get confused about all these numbers. We've seen enough football, done enough ways to kind of know how to do things. So
I totally agree. Now, we're coming down to the end, Coach. What should Virginia State fans or future fans expect from you and your team?
Yeah, I mean, we're blessed to have some really good student athletes, and our coaches there at Virginia State. We're blessed to have the guys that we have, Tremaine Watson and Shannon Harris, hopefully be coming on as our coordinator offensively. But it's all about the student athletes and putting them in a good situation to go out and make plays. Coach Vernon Dean, our defensive coordinator, us putting these guys in a good situation to make plays. There's buku talent in the state of Virginia. So we're able to get some really good players there, 757, Richmond area, other areas in Virginia. So we're going to keep recruiting, man, keep putting these guys in the right situations, keep communicating our language, making it be a part of their fire, helping them live the dash. And hopefully through that, our fans can expect us to be successful and win some games and graduate these guys.
Now, this just popped into my head. How is it recruiting against Coach Dawson Odoms? He just went to Norfolk State now. So how do you think that battle with, you guys trying to recruit Virginia, how's that going to be?
And Coach Odom, I've learned a lot from him from afar. I haven't had many conversations with him. Speaking earlier about the young man that we lost to the D1 school. Yeah, that was the D1 school. So we lost him to Coach Odom in Norfolk. So, but Coach is going to do an amazing job. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Odom don't win it all this year in the media. He's just that type of guy, and he's gonna continue the program in the right way. I think Coach, the last coach there, he left some good players there. Coach Odom is obviously going to put him in the right spot. But again, we like to compete against and recruit against anybody. We have to be real and realistic. A lot of times it's going to come down to I want to play D1 coach. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the facilities we have, regardless of I've played in the NFL and we've coached guys that are going in the NFL. It still comes down to some of them, they just want to be and play D1 football. So it is what it is with that. Yeah.
That's the name of the game for most kids. Now, when time comes for the next chapter in your career, Coach, what would you like your reputation to say about you?
Honestly, just to say that I cared about our players, that I loved our players, that I was approachable, and I want to have 4 more wins off the field with guys graduating than we have in wins on the field in terms of winning football games. So just I want people to know that that's the type of coach I am. We'll go over and beyond without breaking the rules to help our players, to put them in good situations to be able to allow them to go and live their lives. That's what we want our reputation to be about, that we love and care about our guys. We wanted them to graduate. We made sure that they graduate, and obviously turn them over to society so they can go out and be productive.
That's what's up. October 16th, Bowie State rolls into town, them DMV boys. Can I get an invite? Can I get an invite?
Man, yeah, come on down, bro. We'll make sure you have sideline passes. Get you on. You got to be on our side now. You can't get sideline passes from them and then go on their side. And
all right, that's respect. That's respect.
And that we're gonna send you a T-shirt so you can put the Virginia State T-shirt behind you as well with your Jackson State T-shirt. And I can't see the other one.
But that's my brand.
Yeah.
Off script. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's your deal. Yeah, off script. So yeah, man. Yeah, we definitely will set that up and give you an opportunity to come down on the sideline. We might even let you call a player if you want to. It's gonna be that type of game.
Oh. Yo, you next level, Coach. You next level. Yo, that's wow. Yo, you wildin', Coach. You wildin'. Hey, that's respect. Now, this last section, Coach, is called This or That. I'm gonna give you 2 options, and you just tell me which one you prefer. Okay. It's fun.
Yep.
All right. Text or call?
Okay. Text, call.
Text or call?
Text.
Which one?
Text.
All right.
Don't call my phone.
City or country?
Country. Hope Alabama, preferably. Country.
All right. St. Petersburg or Montgomery?
The GUMP all day, the Gump.
Early bird or night owl?
Man, I'm both of those. I'm gonna stay up late, but I'm gonna get up early and be ready to rock and roll. So I'll go night owl.
Okay. Michael Jackson or Prince?
And I think growing up, Prince was probably my favorite, but the best performer ever is Michael Jackson. So I'm going Michael Jackson.
All right. Last question for you, Coach. Zaxby's or God's Chicken?
I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Churches for me, but since we talking about this, I'm going churches with the fried okra. But since we going this, I'll go with Chick-fil-A.
Coach, you crazy. Hey, thank you for the interview, Coach. This is your time. You can shout out whoever you want, your team, anybody you want to talk to. Go ahead, it's on you.
Man, shout outs to Virginia State University, our president, our athletic director, all the support staff there. Shout out to our football players, our coaches. One time for Alabama State and what we got going on over there, our fans and all of that. Shout out to Montgomery, Alabama, Ridgecrest. Vineyard, one time for the Vineyard. I got to take you to the Vineyard. You've never seen a place like the Vineyard. Montgomery, Alabama, the Vineyard. You need to go there with me.
All right. Too easy, Coach. Coach, I appreciate you for your time. I look for nothing but success, and I'm gonna be looking for that invite. I'm gonna be looking for that invite.
Right on. Right
right.
on. Thanks for having me on here, man. Enjoyed it.
All right, you too, Mr. Coach Barlow. All right, take it easy.
All right. See you. Thanks.
Man, listen. Yo, if you don't think that's getting clipped, I'm going to tag Bowie State. I'm going to tag Bowie State. I swear to God, I'm going to tag Bowie State. He said, I'm going to let you call the plays. It's going to get like that? What? Oh, my goodness. That is getting clipped. Oh, my gosh. Listen. All you church chicken lovers, y'all need to get off my line, bro. For real. Y'all bugging with this church's chicken. Church's chicken is not where it's at. It really isn't. It really is not. Boy, that is. Oh, my goodness. Appreciate you, Blue Bloods. Appreciate you, my guy. Hey, let me know how the sound is. Let me know how the sound is coming through. If y'all hear it nice and clear and everything like that. Hey, listen, this is the first time, you see it. Headset, mic. I'm just trying to get this thing right. Give you guys some better quality. But man, listen, that right there was funny. That boy said, I will let you call the plays. What? I'm doing go routes. Listen, it's gonna look like Madden out there. Boy, it's gonna be straight Hail Mary. Just let it fly. Man. Woo. Oscar to get that North Carolina probably had to get there. Nice. Oscar get that North Carolina probably hard to get him. I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try TT. I'm gonna try to get him. I'm gonna try to get the. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Since I'm official, I got the. When I finish my interviews, I'm gonna hit y'all with the. I'm dropping bars. You hear the sound effects. It's real out here in the streets. I'm official. Now listen, 9:30, we going live on the Dalen Baldwin situation. 9:30, we going live on the Dalen Baldwin situation. You going tell them, Tank, they gonna get this work. They gonna get this work. Be here. Oh, listen, man. Hey, Blue, listen, I literally had my homeboy just stitch this up for me real quick just so I can have one when I go to that camp on Friday. Bro, I ain't selling. I'm trying to get everything together to sell something. I don't even know. I can't even go lie to you, bro. I just want to have some. I want to just have some of my own merch. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a channel with no merch, so I had to get something. But yeah, so listen, 9:30, be back here. Live show. We talking Dalen Baldwin, Michigan. Michigan. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be live. It's gonna be lit. You already know how I do. We taking live call-ins. I'm gonna get my samples ready. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know, like, hey, Smooth. Hey, you listen to 96.9 Smooth Jazz. Smooth Jazz 105.9. Anyway, but yeah, so we gonna get it popping, man, and we gonna get it going. Let me go ahead and end this one. But you know what I'm saying? So that's how we try and get it popping. It's gonna be lit. Catch y'all at 9:30. All right. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like. And I'm out. Till next time, it's your boy Scotty, voice of the swag with the new gear. So you know what I'ma do. I'ma holla. God bless. 9:30. Catch you on the flip.